Hey, what's up, James? Prepping my workstation. I think it needs more water. Glad it has a cover. Oop. I'm just spilling water all over the place. I brought some experimental stuff today. Uh-oh. May have put too much water. Alright. So, I want to try a blue wash. It's super bright, of course. So, blue wash, I want to try that. I want to try also Persia Blue Hue. I think this is acrylic ink. And one last thing. Where did I put that at? Uh-oh. Oh, here it is. Man, it was right on top. So this one, which is Ultramarines Blue Red Shade, but it's transparent. Alright. Let's see. Okay. Alright. Let's get this shade of blue guy. So it's probably, this has been spray painted, painted over, then spray painted again. So it's quite thick on coats. But I'm kind of curious as to see what the colors will do. Alright. Well, clearly I can't use... Man, I can't find my other... Mother like these things. I actually have to clean this. Like, actually clean it. Where did I put all my other ones at? Man, how's your day going, James? Clearly, mine is not starting off on the right foot. Because I actually have to do work. This one area clear. Nothing much. You You're not trying to create chaos over there? Oop. Okay, that's 2 areas clear. Okay. Leave that for now. Put this up. Oh, I tried spray. Like I had a new spray paint. The other one is white, and it is terrible. It is so thick. It has great coverage. Well, if I could spray the areas, but the area that got really sprayed, man, it lost all details pretty much. So this white is not gonna work for models. So I have in a sense, a useless color or spray paint. But there's something I actually need to spray paint one anyway, and it's going to be fantastic for that. So not completely at a loss there. But man, I think I tried to be light with it. Whew, still very, very heavy. Let me grab another napkin real quick. Don't have one up here. And I'm about to get a haircut today, and did not get that done either. My hair is annoying. Okay, so let's try some blue wash just to see what it looks like. We have 3 areas that are clear. Drop, drop, just 2 drops. And how are we gonna spread this? I guess it might be good. Oops, this is backwards. I did just refill this. That plastic is not gonna help. Alright. See how that looks. No, I don't really have much room with these 2 tanks up here. I wonder if a blue wash would be a little bit better than, say, a paint. And so you'll have the like the silver color, still looking like it actually, and then a blue kind of hue to it. So we'll do this entire arm here, or as much of it as possible that I can see. I wonder if inks just stick better, because it seems like this is not struggling like the paint when I dilute it. Oh, it is taking a lot of... Okay, so that's one of the blue inks done. And let's try a blue wash, sorry. I'm gonna try the blue ink next. Alright, so let's reset my helmet. Oh. Okay, now the blue ink. Let's see how this does with the other arm. very foamy because I just rinsed the crap out of it. 2, okay. Okay. Let's do that with the other arm now. Ooh, wow. Holy smokes. That Persia blue is so much deeper as an ink. It is acting like the paint that I had. It's not quite, it's kind of retracting quite a bit. I wonder if I want to do this. Makes painting a lot easier for sure. Doesn't look too bad. I don't know if I should thin it out or thicken it. Struggling to cover the areas. It's just retracting a little bit too much. Okay, that's definitely much better. It's deeper blue for sure. All right, it's a little bit too thick though. Now let's try the other one, which is transparent blue. Let's see how that works. So Ultramarines blue red shade. Transparent. You can't really see it. Ultramarines blue red shade. Transparent. That little square box being clear means it's transparent. Okay. Let's see how this looks. I think I should probably put it in here. Even though I kind of did this wrong. This open already. Just need a little bit. Whew. Ooh, wow, it's okay. There we go. Let's do that on the body. It's supposed to be transparent. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. It's struggling to cover. It's retracting and leaving areas exposed. Very bright blue, amazingly, compared to its gauche color. Alright, doesn't look too great. So you can see the brush strokes for sure. Okay, let's let it dry. I want to go back to the ink color real quick and maybe try to go light on it, but it can't help how much the brush absorbs. If I can make that ink work, that would make painting so much easier. So let's try going back to the drawing board on this. So try to thin it out. I guess really stretch the paint out. kind of struggling when I stretch it out too much. Okay. Alright. Let's let that dry. Let's see what that looks like. I was trying to look for some gunmetal, but they're so expensive. Looked on Amazon, this thing is like $7. I'm like, good lord. I have a way of maybe making something that's very similar to it, but I'm not sure. Look, that's black. Where's my other spare gunmetal color? I know I have one more, I think. There it is. It's one. Oh, I have my two. Actually, I have two of them here. Sweet. Oh, never mind. I thought I lost one. Nice. Let me check which one. Okay, I think this is the unopened one. Alright. So I'm about to run out. I think I'm gonna take the balls from that one and put it in this one. When I'm done. Alright. Sweet. So let me try my diluted blue real quick. The original technique that I found that I really liked. So it's a little bit of, that's already pre-diluted for the most part, but I still need to dilute a little bit more. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to try 1 drop of Floaid and 1 drop of matte medium. Hopefully that'll make it not too thin and still allow it to flow. Alright. Wow, that popped. Okay. Let's see. Okay, it doesn't quite stick, so it might struggle, I guess. Honestly, I'm amazed about the transparent Ultramarines blue. At least from the research I've done, it's supposed to be kind of, well, I don't know, let the undercoating shine on it, but maybe it's laying too thick. Try on the gun, I guess. Wow, that is not good. Really thin. It's not even sticking to the paint very well. The coverage is not great. Unless I add a lot, which is not what I want to do. Not really anyways. So that is not working out. Let me add some non-diluted Ultramarines blue to it to hopefully thicken it up. Hopefully not too much. Let's see what happens. Okay, it's sticking to the sidewall, it's not dripping, so Let's see if that works. Try the opposite of the gun. Getting, it has coverage now, it's sticking. See if I thin it. It's still very inconsistent in terms of its coverage though. It's hard to get that mixture correct. So paint, ooh, okay, so the paint is retracting. Almost back to square one, but maybe not so bad. Let's try a leg. It's not as bad, okay. Oh, never mind, it's getting as bad. But let's see. Alright, let's let that dry. So I already spray painted all my Infinity models that silver color. I'm gonna find out if that wasn't a mistake or not. And what we're gonna do is we need to paint some black. Alright, try to finish up these tanks because they take up so much room while we wait for that to dry. So what do we want to paint black? Whoop. What is music? Got it cleaned up nicely. Wow, I am making some mistakes today. Hey, what's up, Troy? Doing some testing today with a few paints for my Infinity models, and also was trying to finish up the tanks so I can get them off my table because they take up so much room. But it is also bad table management. Kind of weird to have a striped main battle cannon, but it is what it is. Magnet test, interaction between matter and which. Troy, man, you talk about weird stuff. Hope these tanks do better for me in future games because, man, my dreadnoughts did not do good at all. Hmm. He's creating chaos today. I should not be putting this much detail on this tank because that's going to make taking the other tank a little bit more. Hey, what's up, Meep? Meep. I should keep the tanks and troopers pretty basic. That way I can get done with them quicker. Thoughts on Men in Iron? I don't know too much about the lore about the Men of Iron. However, I am all for them making it into a playable faction. Are the Men of Iron the rebellion of Mars? The rebellious AI from Mars. Oh no? No, 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 no. Not Dark Mechanicum. It's just Mechanicum that it's like Chaos Space Marines. No, Dark Mechanicum is just Mechanicum guys who yeah. The AI revolt from Mars. Dark Mechanicum is just Mechanicum Chaos Mechanicum, really. That's the reason why Men of Iron is the reason why they don't like AI anymore, and the reason why they have servitors as opposed to well, AI. Honestly. Well, there seems more a higher chance of Chaos Mechanicum being a real thing more so than the Men of Iron. But I would love for Men of Iron to be a faction playable. I'm sure they'll make it, you know, they gotta make money, so they will definitely turn Men of Iron into an actual faction. Let's see what else needs to be black. Don't know what else needs to be black, honestly. I guess the underside does. I do believe so. I think so. There's nowhere else where they've had that rebellious part. Like I think it is only from Mars. Well, at least originate from Mars. Although, you know, I wouldn't doubt that if I'm wrong, you know, don't know too much. I blame the Australian guy. But yeah, it was the rebellion of the AI, and that's the reason why they don't like AI anymore. I think it's from Mars, and outside of that, hey, what's up, Drake? I'm trying to finish up my tanks because my ballistic dreadnought keeps freaking flopping on my rolls. It's not the dreadnought's fault; it's mine because my dice rolls hate me. I'm currently working on my own army, which is just an idea of AI beginning to become the problem. The recycles defeating enemies. Imagine a redemptive dreadnought with Tau railgun. That'd be scary. A dreadnought with a railgun. Now, only if they did that with the freaking what do you call it? Riptides. Riptide having a railgun. What? Makes no sense at all. Obviously, big mech means only anti-infantry. Too much to ask for a Riptide, that big massive thing, to be anything but anti-infantry. Am I right? Nope. And also waiting for my test paint, by the way, to for my Infinity models to kind of dry up a little bit more to see what's the best way to paint my Infinity models. Just gonna paint this black so that it's hard to see when it's on top of the tank. Okay, let's dry. I don't know what else to paint in black. I know the rest I'm gonna paint with like maybe gunmetal, but I thought I should have more black than this. Let's check the colors now. Let's see how the blues are looking. So this is blue wash from Vallejo. It doesn't look all that great. Because I have the Space Marine armor and tech priest units that is nano machines that consume the. Man, you're talking about freaking almost like Thousand Suns because they turn to dust. This is the Liquitex ink. This is thinned out. Ooh. Why is it so dark? So this is like really thick, and the gun is thinned. The blue in the chest piece is Liquitex soft body, red shade, but it's transparent supposedly. Doesn't look transparent to me. This is Liquitex Ultramarines red shade gauche, diluted to a degree. None of it really looks great. I mean, I will say the acrylic ink does look a bit good, especially the thinned down portion. It does have a little bit of a shine to it. Yeah, you see it in the camera for sure. Much better shine than say the others, which is kind of what I was going for. So this kind of shows the uncoating a little bit better. The gun is thin, but amazingly, the paint's thin on the gun, but it's not really showing the what do you call it? The undercoating very well. Glorify T1000. So far, I'm not very impressed with any of these paints. The ink is not too bad, but it ain't perfect. More testing needs to be done. I don't know what to do, or what else I can do. Let me try this. Let's get the Persia blue in here. And kind of, oop, there we go. Let's see how that looks when I dilute that down. Well, let me pop that. Let's try it on this leg. Let's see if that Persia blue looks good. It covers really well so far. I'll say that. Maybe it's because it's not diluted enough. To give a kind of a nice effect. I seem to like diluting my paint a lot. This seems to have a very nice even coat, which is normally what you want from paint, but kind of want an uneven coat. But I want coverage though, which is the struggle. Alright, let's let that dry. It's not looking good so far though.
Just wish you knew.
Imagine a servitor getting consumed by liquid metal, reduced to a drone even further below that is already. Oh, hold on. Sorry, I read it next. Currently selling 8 UR025s. How come that UR25 sounds familiar? 025s. Oh man, I said your name before. Robanil. It's spray painted silver color. Here, let me grab a fresh one. So that is was a pewter model. It's now base coated in a silver primer. The problem with silver primer is that pewter and silver kind of look very similar, especially in low light situations. Blackstone Fortress. That sounds familiar. I have Men of Iron right here. Like, yeah, some of these models look really cool. So, yeah, that face looks really cool. I really like this model. It looks really nice. The base is normally black, as you can see, but you can see that's painted silver. So I think, yeah, this looks like it really covered really well. It looks like I didn't miss any spots. Maybe in between the legs. I don't think you can see it behind the gun. You can see a little patina there, which I think I missed with the spray paint. Can't really show that very well. Sometimes it's hard to get all the coverage. Canonical Men of Iron model. Ah! Huh. Did they actually release Men of Iron models? I'm sure they will. I was gonna say release some Men of Iron model army. Just because, dude, they want to make money, so, and people are gonna be asking for it too. Huh. Oh, okay. So it's a different game. Okay, I see what you're saying. I thought it's also actually a place too, Blackstone Fortress. I think it is, but I guess it's a game too. Let's see. Add some more black to this because I got a lot of black. Might as well. I think we'll get this black too. Might as well. Need gunmetal and black. And I don't know about white. Because I don't think there's going to be any white into this thing. It's mostly metal and blue. How to get away with Castellan robots? What do you mean? Essentially the same boat as Kill Team, but seemingly wasn't successful, I think. Ah. Is it still a game they're still making? I know they're resurrecting a lot of the games. I mean, they resurrected Epic, essentially. Oh no, U.S. Libertarian. How did he get away with Castellan robots? I'm guessing it might, like, mind you, there is a land raider apparently that's roaming free without a crew, but they don't consider that AI. They consider that the machine spirit doing it. So it's a workaround. I mean, what else would you consider a self-driving tank? It's gonna be the. Oh damn! They already have the Y model. Well, no. Mind you, robots. There could be a robot that does menial tasks, means it's programmed to do something specific, but can't do anything outside of that. So you look at like, trying to think what kind of robots, like the warehouse robots in Amazon. They have some where it scans QR codes, so it knows where to take it. It's not AI, just the QR code is an instruction that it gives to the robot. I don't know if any, like, real life situation. Wow, that's pretty soon if we gave up on that thing. So anyways, AI robots. So it's not necessarily meaning that robots doesn't necessarily mean no robots, because robots doesn't mean AI either. That's something very specific. Oops, I messed that up, but who cares? Strip all the way down. Probably can't see what I'm painting. What's up, Francois? And I don't know what you mean by the Castellan robot, though. Castellan? Did I read that right? Castellan. Is that the big robot in for Imperial Knights? If I remember correctly, I think I fought one and almost blew it up in one turn, only because one robot couldn't see, or one what do you call it? Couldn't see. Crisis suit. Yeah, Gladiator tank. I need to get rid of them. They're massive models, and plus I gave up on the Ballistus Dreadnought for 6 games. The average damage is like 2 or 3, and that's only one time. Out of all the shots they've done, if they hit, they usually roll. I usually roll ones and twos for their damage. Funny dome head robots from Mechanicum. Castellan? Are those Castellan really? Oh, okay. I see what you're saying now. Okay. I have a feeling they're programmed. I see. Okay. Yeah, I have a feeling they're programmed. They're not AI. They have set instructions, and if nothing falls under their instructions, then they can't do anything about it. AI would be able to come up with new solutions that's not programmed, pre-programmed. That's my assumption. I didn't really study Mechanicum very much, but I would make that assumption from them because Pulsar actually I wish it is.
It's all about humanity.
Wait, same size as an impulsor, but you wish it was as big as an impulsor. Do you mean repulsor?
It's all about humanity.
The world, it's the World from Total War. Warhammer connected to 40k. People like and other sci-fi, but I don't know if they're connected except for the name Warhammer. Robert Neil. I'll call you Neil, hopefully, for short. So don't struggle with your name so much. I've heard like a long time ago that fantasy was like the future of 40k because everyone just revolted back to their because of how 40k is that they don't create new technologies, so everything's just old and they can't create new technologies because it's all lost, so it ended up going to medieval times, but I don't know about that. Just I would assume that it's the future, sci-fi. Cloud 2. Some of the demons humanity saw. Huh.
It's all about humanity.
Let's see what else. What else can I paint? Man, should have cleaned this model up a bit more. I didn't think I was going to use this model, but now I regret not completely cleaning this model up. I don't know, this song just found this on a YouTube channel that's royalty free, so start playing it. So I've had pretty good luck with the repulsor. I test tried them in a game, although I lost because my god, I went up against Dark Angels, and the lion is very, very mean. Dude has everything. He's so much better than Gilliman, and I hate that fact. I mean, he has strike first. Come on, how do you not? Come on, Gilliman needs that. It's a freaking Primarch too, Let's see. That's about it. Give it a crew gun. What's you mixing freaking Space Marine stuff or Imperial stuff with Tau? That's heresy. But anyways, so I did end up killing the lion. I charged the lion with Gilliman, with my Blade Guard veteran, with a adjudicator. This guy, so they have strikes first. And he had VM the Honored, so he was actually wounding the lion on let's see, 7, 8, 9 on 3s. Because I also charged and gave his squad +1 to wound, or lance, should I say. Lance and a pip of AP. It looks alright, it looks alright. Trying to make it look decent. But it's a tank, it's not a character, so try not to be too precise. Just wanna make it look good so that it's presentable. Gotta do the same thing on the other side. Yes, yes. That is what they did, and they revolted though because I believe the Mechanicum wanted control well, I don't know the actual story, but I'm assuming they just wanted control, and AI said no, and so they had a disagreement. That is my assumption. What? I wonder if they could. I don't know. I mean, Necron, is it, I don't think there's this tech per se. It's a little bit different, I think, for Necrons. It's their, I don't know if they can be hacked per se. It's not like, I think the bodies that we're giving to them, it's not exactly like computer per se. It's more like a living metal. That's not computer generated. I don't know what to say, like computer built or something like that. Like the other machines we're aware of. Oh, I don't know. I don't know where you're hearing that from. I've never heard anything about the Men of Iron trying to do anything with the warp. Ah, that could make sense. And that would make sense as to why the Men of Iron would revolt against. It's kind of like Ultron actually at that point. You know, the way to save humanity is by getting rid of it. Makes sense, you know. Just trust me, bro. Heck. I mean, that would make sense though. Alright, yeah, I mean I need more black, but I'm gonna have some gunmetal on this. Majority gunmetal, honestly. So let's take a look at the blue now and see what that looks like. It's not looking promising, and I want to go a blue, or at least the blue that I had on that other model looked really good. Yeah, not great. Well, maybe it needs to be thickened and diluted. It's just not looking very promising. Maybe I have to do it with this. Exactly. Don't you want freedom from the suppression? I have that. This is called eternal slumber. Let's try diluting this like I normally do. Let's see what that looks like. It might be better. Because I will say none of this blue is looking good. Let me brighten it up a little bit because it's just a little too dark. And it's not looking like I'm seeing in real life. You guys are fake. This might be a little bit better. Yeah, oh yeah, actually. It looks pretty close to real life. Actually, that's really. So that gun looks pretty good. That's this arm and the gun is the same color, except the gun's thin. I stretched the paint out. This one's a bit more concentrated. The chest piece is the transparent Ultramarines blue, which it doesn't look very transparent. It might be thinned down too much though, so. And then this is a thinned down Ultramarines blue, which is still showing the silver. It's not quite coated very well. And this is the blue wash from Vallejo. Maybe I need to do another wash on it. Thicken it up a little bit. Magazine. Sometimes you might have to take more than one though. Okay, we're running out of room in this model. I think we can do it. So this is very diluted Persia blue. Let's see how well the coverage looks. Coverage is pretty good. Although I guess it kinda so liquidy that it's actually going. It's good that it's going to some crevices, but it looks like it's kind of falling to one side a little bit too much. Oof. Hmm. So those two look very close, very similar. Let's see what happens if I add another layer to this one. And it becomes too dark. That's too light. That so far seems to be the best. Although it's still not too consistent, so I have to kind of work with that. I have no idea. I'd have to do the transparent blue again. Somehow that doesn't seem right. This transparent blue is very not transparent. Just give it a little bit. Come on. Jesus. There we go. Okay. Let's try that on the leg. That might be better. No dilution. As is color. Looking decent, but it's... Let's see if that works. It's actually looking pretty good. A lot better than the first attempt, which is that middle area. But it looks... Should delete it a little bit. I need to put varnish on it, maybe just to see what the final color looks like. I'll say, that did look better going on, but it looks kind of gritty. Like after it's kind of dried up, it looks gritty. Apply a second coat, just in this back area. I don't know, that's all I have left with the paint. See if it'll smooth it out or something. Alright, let's let it dry. Watching you paint the models, it looks... Well, it all depends on the individual person, mind you. So, there are people out there who do not paint their models at all. So, more play than paint. And then there's people who paint and play. But if you do paint, depending on how you paint, you might be spending more time painting than playing. Just because it takes a lot of time to paint a lot of models, and then whenever you try to play, sometimes people don't show up and you have no way to play. And I want to change that because I want to play. I think I will paint that inside area black so that it's harder to see. For the sake of hiding. There's no real need to kind of see what's in here anyway, so. I have to call it quits here pretty soon. I got work, and I did stream for an hour. But I will say this, you know, I've been trying to paint every day for an hour, and I have made a lot of progress. I had originally all my models painted for what I needed in my original build list. But ever since my crappy rolls with my Ballistic Dreadnought, I decided to run Gladiators because I get free rerolls and a lot of sense with it. While the Ballistic Dreadnought does get free rerolls to hit against models that are above 50%, or 50% and above, should I say. The problem is I don't get rerolls to wound with it. It has 4 weapons that can take out tanks. Not twin, it's actually 2 shots with the last cannon. Strength 12, AP 3, damage D6 plus 1. 2 strength 10 missiles. But strength 10 is not quite anti-tank. Just because most tanks are like the important tanks are toughness 12. So, what else? So this thing has actually strength 14, 2 shots, and you get to re-roll 1 hit, 1 wound, and 1 damage roll. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. Generally speaking, you should always hit and wound with this model. And plus this counts as a heavy weapon too, so if you stay stationary, you're hitting on 2s. And if you're running Anvil Siege Force, if you're remaining stationary, not only do you get +1 to hit, you also get +1 to wound with this model. Because the main weapon is heavy, which is what I was originally running, Anvil Siege Force. But the inability to advance and charge hurts a lot. And I noticed this game ends up turning to melee a lot of the times. Because you have to hold the objective, and guess what? You're not really shooting when you're that close to the enemy models. Just to darken this up. This is why I'll probably never play. The rules give me a headache. It's very simple. It's not really all that complicated. I mean, I'd say 40K is one of the relatively simple games to play. I mean, maybe I never played any of the one-page rules, games, so I don't know. I'm pretty sure, if it's 1 page, that must mean really simple too. But if the font size is -100, That one page doesn't mean much when it's when the font's really tiny. Trying to clean this thing out real quick. You should play. It's not really that complicated. Not as complicated as like other games, I suppose you could say. And well, don't get me wrong, Tau has ways of handling melee, but not very well, of course. If you get into melee with Tau, they crumble. They're very lore accurate. But I hate the fact that, like, I remember listening to this one audiobook where I forgot what the name of the Space Marine company is. They actually did they board? Yeah, they boarded a Tau ship. It was, I believe it was a Farsight novel. And they had one of the guys with a Honor Gauntlet, which they removed in 10th edition, which sucks. And this, I can't remember who the character was, but he had the Honor Gauntlet, and he was wrecking Space Marines with it. So this goes to show that Tau can actually melee, but like, where's this at? It's not that they can't melee at all, it's just that they prefer not to. When you're better at supposedly better at shooting, why would you want to, you know, punch someone in the face? I've always wanted to try D&D and Warhammer, but I don't. Do you have a D&D Warhammer like book? You know, there was I think I did play kind of Warhammer D&D style game. I can't remember what it was called, but you obviously don't play Space Marines. So like you're gonna be too powerful. You can play like was it like rogue traders and stuff, thieves, like a whole bunch of class that you'd never heard of. Might be called Rogue Trader, actually. You can play an Inquisitor, I believe, in that game, too. Although you can't call down Exterminatus, though, so... Don't even try. Alright, I'm gonna have to call it right here because I'm getting a little sleepy. I meant to stream a little bit earlier, but then I had to go fix a whole bunch of stuff real quick. So, I'm still working on the tanks. I need to finish up on these two guys too. They're very important as well. Let's take a look at this guy. So, yeah, it looks really... It's kind of there, actually, with that leg. You can't really see it. Strangely enough, this leg right here. I can kind of see the silver underlying of this blue. The front looks too patchy. The back looks pretty good, but it looks dark. So it's kind of there. I just don't know how to fix that. I'm gonna have to keep experimenting a little bit more. I mean, this does look pretty good. Maybe, let me see. I don't have that. I think I dried it up. Let's see. Why would you punch instead of shoot? Because you gotta show them who's the real boss. I don't know. If you die before you get to punch the dude, you know. No, I like the meme that they had for was it the tank commander in Imperial Guard had a sword. He's sticking out the hatch of the tank right at the very top, sticking a sword out, pointing, and it says, "Drive me closer. I want to hit him with my sword." I like that. Quick work, so I could just run 100 and an exact same. Well, movement's gonna be a problem, USA. You're gonna take for unless you get movement trays, and then movement might not be a problem. Actually, Meep, that has happened actually. I think they had a I've heard they had a competition somewhere to intentionally try to lose the game. So, I can't remember. There's one where, they had a Tau guy. Dre. I think they had a Tau guy where it went with nothing but marker drones and an ethereal. So he had all the requirements to actually field a legitimate army that literally could not do anything. Although I will say the ethereal is pretty good at melee. Hitting on 4s, I believe, or 3s, strength 6, AP 1, damage 2, I believe at that time. And and I think there was another army that I remember hearing about where literally he lost turn 3 because some kind of loophole where everything started in reserves, and if you don't deploy them by turn 3, they die automatically. And I think it might be Tau too. I think they started like, what did they start off? A lot of reserves, then a lot of deep strike, and then I guess the rest was freaking ethereals and drones on the field. Because drones were so expensive back when 10 edition first came out. I think they were like 25 points per Tau drone. You have to run a minimum of 3, so 75 points for 3 Tau drones, which is freaking marker drones. It's stupid. No one ran Tau drones because they're so damn expensive at the time. I don't know if they still are or not though. I kind of want to check it out. Let's see, Tau drones. Well, actually, no, Tau drones, you can't run them anymore. They're just like, they're just, what you call it, tokens now. I forgot. That's kind of funny. 10th edition came out, Tau drones, 25 points per model. The most expensive, useless unit in the game. Of all armies. That is crazy. Anyways, I gotta call it right here. I try to stream every day around 4 to 4:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and try to stream for at least an hour. I try to paint up as much. Oh man, I need to base coat this guy. I try to paint as much of my models as possible. It's been kind of slow lately because I have these large models to paint. I usually am pretty quick, but for some odd reason, I don't know why not now. So anyways, I gotta pause right here. If you like my content, please consider subscribing. Thumbs up and stand down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vid.